Steven should get on this call and then just mute himself.
No, he's rolling. He wants to do it this way. He's texting.
Okay.
He's like an entity. He's everywhere. but he's nowhere at the same time. I think it's really omnipotent of Steven to do it this way because we've never done a Zoom before.
No, it's first time.
This is our first time doing the Zoom. We've now done different formats with this, where we've tried locations, we've tried shooting it in different ways. Steven is now in the cloud, and
Steven's nowhere to be seen.
yes, DumbFans. This is DumbFans. We're doing it even when we're not around each other. That's what we're doing. We're incredible. When the heck am I looking here? I'll look over here. We're doing big things here with Harp and Steven, and we're bringing you guys more content. Even if we can't get together to do things, we're going to try and do it this way. We don't know what format really works for people because no one's watching, and that's okay.
What format do you guys like? Do you guys like this? Do you guys like the in person?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? We got our first hate comment.
Yes.
We did. Yeah. I don't know if it was mostly directed at me or not, but basically, this guy didn't like my take on the trade from Chicago and Buffalo for the 4th overall to bring in Bo Byram, and he was very quick to highlight that Bo Byram was a 4th overall pick. No one's disputing the guy's draft order. I'm just disputing whether or not they should have made the trade, which is just my humbly dumb opinion, which is what this show is. And by the way, he was thanking the high heavens that no one was watching it. You're watching it. You're watching us.
I think it jinxed Chicago. They got Bedard's out for 4 months now.
Yeah. No, he's out for 4 months. Because he heard all the news. What Chicago? That's essentially why. That's what happened. How are you, man?
Yeah, I've been good. I have a little bit of a cold, so this is why we're doing this Zoom. But yeah, I've been good. How about you?
Good. Yeah, I'm excited to try it this way and see if this works. Maybe we can do more episodes through Zoom, and we do like a hybrid situation where like we're at either the places or our offices, or we just do a Zoom.
I don't want to see you anymore in person, anyway. So this is this is good. This is good.
Well, you and the entire social media population that's watching Harp don't want to see me, so you have that in common. That's pretty good. But unfortunately, what I have to say is that we might have to see more of us because we heard the news here now with Rogers closing down. What was it? 6 radio stations.
6 radio stations across Canada. This is just terrible, especially locally for us. I mean, we're regular listeners of Sportsnet 650, and we always argue about what they're saying. It's just a good conversation to have between each other, just listening to them and doing that. And now they're shutting down. They did this previously with 1040. And now 2 radio stations here in Vancouver. So News 1130 and Sportsnet 650. Now, I know, I don't know if you ever listened to the traffic radio that used to be all traffic all the time, 730. They also shut that down. I don't know if that was Rogers, but that got shut down probably about 6 months ago now. And I was disappointed with that.
Yeah, I know you recommended that I listen to the traffic one because you hate the way I drive and you think I don't know where I'm going ever when I'm on the road.
And a lot of people would back me up on that, but you continue.
I'm excellent at driving, and I'm excellent with directions. What I don't care for is side commentary from you and people that we know. I keep getting reminded about this one story where I was on the highway and I missed a turnoff. This allegedly happened.
You missed the whole city. You didn't miss the turnoff. You missed the whole city twice. When you first missed it when you were going to go there. Then on the way back, you missed the whole city again. And it's not a small city.
What we call a municipality here in British Columbia, Hart, okay? Let's get educational for the people who are East Coast watching this, the 2 people that hate our show, so that way they know what's going on. And I don't remember missing any municipalities twice, Hal, okay? I think you made that up.
Oh, you did. There's a lot of people that can back that up.
Anywho, how this would actually work is, it's funny that we're not just doing this out of the blue. We would listen to morning sports radio. We're of the generation where sports radio was everything. If you're trying to get all your information, basically you're watching the usual suspects: TSN, Sportsnet, local radio like the Team 1040, which shut down 5 years ago. Oddly enough, with the same morning show that we were so used to listening to, Halford and Bruff. And I can just mention the names now because they don't have a show anymore. But I love their show. I love their show.
Yeah.
I love texting, and they would read my text messages. I would text
You're
it
a
as
regular. You're a regular texter on that show.
oh, I'm 100% certain they hated my text messages, but they appreciated the effort, so
But
they would
this
read
is
them.
feedback. This is what we're trying to get from the listeners. Feedback.
Yeah.
This is how you engage with the audience.
Yeah, but I mean, they were a direct inspiration for what we were doing here because after their show in the morning, I'd call you, right?
Yeah.
And then you and I would argue while we're driving out for at least like 15, 20 minutes on our drives about like decisions the Canucks had done or major trades in sports, whether it be the NFL, NBA, NHL, even the World Cup coverage as well. Like, they're one of the few shows that I really appreciate because they weren't so Vancouver heavy. They really brought in sports opinions from a lot of insiders.
They did, yeah, and just the station itself, it played Seahawks games on there. They played Vancouver Canadians games. They were home of the Whitecaps, the Canucks, obviously. Like it's very sad to see them go, and our only sports radio station now gone, which is very disappointing. I mean, before we had two to choose from, 1040 and 650. I mean, it really frustrates me that the rest of Canada has to suffer like this while Toronto has multiple radio stations. I understand, okay, maybe there's a little bit of a bigger market. They got a baseball team as well. But to cut everybody else out with nothing, that seems very unfair, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, so I mean, they made their final purchase of the remainder 25% to Larry Tannenbaum the day before the news broke, and it was not cheap. I mean, there's a good chunk of change, but something that seemed like 4.3 billion dollars. And then immediately when this happens, jobs are the first thing to think of to try and cut costs. But sports radio and coverage like this is not just a serviceable platform. It really does connect your market base, your clients, to your product. So it's really interesting to me that they didn't have any sort of contingency in terms of how to best offset any sort of losses to making this big of a purchase. I'm aware that information's changed. People like us, for instance, we're doing this podcast. A lot of what you are seeing in terms of sports news and information is through podcasts for the most part. Satellite radio is still a thing. You guys like the Chicklets, for instance, like they're one of the most popular. 21 was it 32 Thoughts with Elliot Friedman. Jeff Merrick has his own podcast. Sakaris and Price, who were part of the Team 1040 5 years ago when their station got shut down. They started their own podcast, maybe sort of like getting ahead of the curve a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So,
that looks like the smart move now. And I feel bad for all the guys at Sportsnet 650 who are kind of getting screwed in this.
Because I remember 5 years ago, Halford and Bruff were the morning show for the team.
Yeah.
And then they got taken off the air. So I was devastated. I remember I called you.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, well, big news. Halford and Bruff is coming to 650 in the morning. I was like, that's awesome. And I was so excited because I love their show. And then to have this happen again is insane to me. I know they're going to land on their feet. I know if you're a sports fan and you know the shows I'm talking about here, a lot of these guys are going to be fine. I mean, creating your own content is a great direction, especially when you have like a set base and a following, which they do.
Yeah.
We don't. we don't have any following. We're starting from scratch. We have no insiders.
We might be the mainstream.
Halford and Bruff, DumbFans.
Donnie and Dolly, and then Amber and Hart, right below them.
Yeah. Hey, Rick Dolly, while we're open for business, all right. If you want to You want to jump on, give us your opinion
We
for
need your
five
hot
minutes?
takes on this podcast now.
We are a non-for-profit operation. We have no money in that we have nothing to give any insider, nothing. But if you want to come on and help us out, that'd be great too. So
All
this would
right.
be an opportunity. For those who are watching, like and subscribe, but also, you must have some stories about what you loved about sports radio. There was so many great moments. It's so weird now thinking about this in terms of like how much I was actually listening to. A lot of my work, in terms of like in working in trades or working in film, I'm on the road so much that the morning show and the afternoon drive was a big part of my day to day. A lot of the information I get from sports was from radio.
Yeah.
Um,
Even
and
just the games as well. Like there's numerous times I listen to the Canucks games.
mm,
John Garrett and John and listening to John Garrett on there. Rest in peace for John Garrett. But
yeah, right.
like it was that was the station. That was where I got all my information. Like you.
Well, so now what? Apparently, they're going to be playing Canucks games on a different Vancouver radio. But how many radio stations are left in
Yeah,
Vancouver?
what's left and where? What do they do from here?
Yeah, it's funny. Steve was texting me. He was like, more and more, we're going to start seeing private enterprise. You want content, you're going to have to stream it, or you're going
Yeah.
to need to get on an app, or you're going to need to pay for something. And this is becoming a bit of a dangerous precedent in terms of our passive dollars going into sports. Because honestly, hey, look, we're in Vancouver. I'm a Canucks fan. I'm not going to pay Francesco Aquilini money in his app to show the games or even get help. He might even buy up Halper and Bruff, get them on a show for like Vancouver only radio. I can see that happen.
On a monthly subscription, you're going to be listening to,
Yeah,
Canucks games and giving Aquilini more money.
there was I mean, look, kudos to, you look at sports franchises now as being, premier pieces of a property to own. I mean, I'm not going to blame anyone who came up with the idea to have Sportsnet purchase into MLSE, but this is what happens when you don't have regulation enterprise. These kinds of mergers happen. It starts squeezing out smaller communities, and the only people that make money are head of the boards of these conglomerates, and the rest of us. And then what happens when you're just a casual fan? You have to listen to people like you and me to get your sports information, which is awful. I sympathize with our listeners.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty terrible, Harp. Come on, okay? The one guy hates us.
He's listening. At least he let us know that he's listening.
That's true, too. That's very true. Yeah, he was very great. He was grateful nobody else listens to us. Let's prove him wrong, everybody. Let's band together and like and subscribe our show. Okay. So I don't know. Let us know your thoughts on this. I feel like there's only so much money I want to spend. At this point, I'll probably just go to a bar and watch a game there. I don't see why I need to download more apps, pay off more subscriptions, feed more dollars out of my wallet to catch games that's a half-hour drive away from me in the arena. I mean, it's what's worse now, going to spend $100 a month for live access of your favorite sports show, or going to spend $400 on a ticket to catch it live.
Yeah, it's better to watch it live, especially if it's in your hometown. And I mean, support the local bars rather than these big corporations.
Yeah, but keep in mind, the bars have to shell out the dollars too, right? They got to spend the money to get the game
Oh,
right.
Yeah. You're right.
And that's the thing that's becoming even more scary. It's like it's not even a situation now where we're getting. That's what radio did for me in the sense is like no matter what, I had access to listening to the Vancouver Canucks. I had access to listening to the news around the world of sports. And there are platforms where obviously there are certain podcasts that you can just download and it's free for the most part. But I feel we're of that generation as millennials where we saw both sides of the fence and we were part of that culture, and now we're trying to navigate into this landscape of information. It's so weird being in this generation.
Yeah, it is. And then like you said before, like this is what we grew up with. It's just sad seeing this go. I mean the a couple other ones, Calgary's also losing their Sportsnet 960. You got Halifax losing a station, Kitchener losing a station, and Vancouver lost two stations. So yeah, it's sad to see. This is what we grew up with. Times are changing. I understand we have to adapt, but it's kind of heartbreaking still.
Please send us any comments. Also, folks, send us some voice notes of your opinions of anything that you've heard from here or any news stuff that you heard in the world of news that you want to have us talk about. I mean, I don't know why you would want us to talk about it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about that, there's possibly no reason you to hear our opinion on things, but just in case you want to, it should be cool. Speaking of news and sports, let's touch on a couple things. I'd be remiss if we didn't touch on some news, some of the bigger stuff. We could talk about Philly and the Ducks. A bit of business here. The Utah Mammoth have matched a 1 year offer at $4.775 million for Barrett Hayden by the New Jersey Devils. If they did not, New Jersey Devils would have had to send over a second round pick. So he stays in Utah for a year.
Yeah, I mean, that one's not as big as this Philly one, so I see how it makes sense. Why you're only giving up a second rounder? I mean, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of these in the future, but makes sense for Utah to match it. It's 1 year. It's not much money.
Yeah,
The other one's a little bit more complicated that we're going to talk about, but this one seemed kind of straightforward.
yeah. It seems like the Devils forgot that they need goaltending. Did they forget that, or
Oh, devils need everything.
I mean, it's cool that they're doing this, but I mean, they just made a massive trade to get Bozo McKee out of there to go to Florida. So I thought that would be their next major acquisition. Uh,
Yeah.
I like New Jersey's top six. I don't think they need to add, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't see what the point was in this. I don't know if it's just to stir the pot, but it wasn't like if you're gonna go after somebody, go after a bigger fish. And no, all respect to Hayden, but why not go after a bigger person, like maybe like a Robertson or something?
Well,
I know it's a different situation, but yeah, to me it didn't make sense for Devils to go after him.
the floodgates are open. This is a new era of hockey in the offseason where now you get free agency, you get the draft, and now there's like a sort of an offer sheet frenzy situation here. I mean, this is going to be a growing problem. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room here with the Flyers and the Ducks. How the hell does this happen? How are you a general manager of the Anaheim Ducks and allow this to happen to your organization?
So yeah, there's a couple of things. Carlson could have signed last year, and he was willing to sign for 10, 11 million with the Ducks, but they wanted to wait on it. They screwed themselves over big time. And the decision that they have in front of them, how many days do they have left? I think it's
They have,
only
they have,
one.
they have till Friday.
They have till Friday, yeah. So they have a couple more days to think about it, but they're on if they let this go, they're on a full on rebuild again. Like who do they have? Who do you build around? Yeah,
Oh well,
you got you got
that,
you got you got a couple young guys in there, but Carlson was your main top line centerman, and that's what you most teams usually build on.
yeah, I feel like guys like Carlson, Cutter Gauthier kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. They're sort of ahead of their development curve, but look, their starts right. You
Yeah.
traded McTavish, okay, so you're clearly trying to set the stage here to make these bigger signings, and Danny Briere saw an opportunity here and decided to go for it, but he went for it in a big swing, $18 million over 5 years here, five per year but per year, like that to me is crazy money
So
for.
what's happening here? Like these contracts are getting bigger and bigger, and then it's just gonna. This is the bar's being set. Carlson, who's we can say is not. I mean, he's a great up and coming guy, but he hasn't proven himself yet.
To me, what this stems from is a couple of things. A, the cap's going up,
Mhm.
okay, and it's going to continue to go up.
But this contract's still not going to look good if he doesn't ban out.
Well, hang on. I mean, That's not the point. The point is there's a squeeze on talent. There's more teams in the NHL than there's ever been. And there's more little in terms of talent available to facilitate these teams. So if I'm Philadelphia, I made the playoffs, right? I overachieved because I did. They overachieved. I don't care what it says. They overachieved. And good for them. But where are you going to go and get your next era defining player, right? Your next franchise facing the franchise. Where are you going to get those guys from? It's so hard to get something right in the draft, and even if you do, most of the time you got to get it within the top 10 to get someone who can make an impact right away.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have a fantastic scouting staff that finds you some diamonds in the rough.
But even then, they're not going to pan out for a couple years.
Exactly. So, you hope that some of these big stars go to free agency. Well, guess what? Now the cap has given these owners and the general managers all kinds of money to being like, hey, look, you're looking to hold out big money. You don't need to. We can give you. Look what happened with Kaprizov. I keep talking Christy Kaprizov in Minnesota because in Minnesota they both these guys, both tables came together. It was Bill Garrett and 30 guys, and then Kaprizov with his dog showed up. And Bill was like, "Oh, I thought you were like, no, bro." No. And oh, we made an offer. Did you have a counter? Yes, I did. And he had a little piece of paper with with 17 and a bunch of zeros.
Across
He probably had three more zeros than he would have liked. Bill was like, no, you need to take off 3 zeros here. Then it's 17 million. Okay. And then he's like, sure, whatever. I don't care. But they can do that.
So, but if you're Leo Carlson, you're laughing right now. You're gonna be there's gonna be pressure, but you're also making 18 million a year now, no matter what.
Yeah.
If Anaheim signs him, Philadelphia signs him, you're making 18 million. I think this is the best situation that could have happened to our local team, the Vancouver Canucks, because okay, I know you're not a big PD fan.
Nobody is.
But this just makes PD more tradable now. Like you got 18 million on Carlson that you're giving up. A team like, let's say now Anaheim loses him, who are they going to replace him with? Can they afford an 18 million person? Is someone willing to trade a contract like that? They can get a cheap center in PD. I mean, relatively cheap, but this is great for Vancouver to try to get rid of this contract.
I'll agree with you that this is great for Vancouver because it makes it more palatable to trade Pettersson. I don't know if
he's a 100-point guy, proven 100-point guy.
Okay. He in his statistics, you can go back and see that he's gotten to 100 points. Absolutely. That I'm not going to dispute that he's done that before. What I've been arguing with you the past 2 years is that he's been nowhere near that player since that time. And in an era now where talent is at a premium and teams are looking for a top line center, yeah, you could absolutely make a move from that. That's an interesting proposition. If I was Anaheim, where I take the 4 first-round picks and I go and try and find something to replace Carlson with that. My gut's telling me that if I was in Anaheim's shoes, maybe that's the more attractive option. However, you still got to be the general manager who has to go to your fans and being like, because of the situation, we were hamstrung and couldn't afford the amount of money. So we're kind of taking a step back here. I don't know if you can make the sale to go and say Vancouver and offer up some of that capital to get in a Pettersson, but you're probably going to go and find a top line center somewhere. But I think there's a team out there for Pettersson in your point. Yes, I do think that.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot more easy to swallow a contract like Pettersson now when you see Carlson's getting 18 million, the cap is going up. Pettersson's contract looks better and better as the years go. They're like 11.6. Okay, last year it seemed like very, very high. With the cap situation going up, I think it's a fine contract.
I will
And Pedersen is only 27 years old. He still has great years ahead of him. And I'm still a firm believer that he will get back to where he was at.
Okay, well, I will say that
Offensively, because defensively, his game's still there.
I'll say this, and I know that this is a point you're making. The Canucks didn't sign Pedersen because they knew the cap was going to go up in 5 years and Pedersen would age. His contract was aged amazingly. They signed him because they thought they were getting a 100-point difference maker on the roster. You don't go and buy a Ferrari and then need it running on a Honda Civic engine for 2 years, but you still have the Ferrari body and it looks like a Ferrari. And it's like, well, in a couple of years, it's going to look great. It still looks like a Ferrari. Like that's not why they signed him. But
I understand that obviously he didn't live up to that right at the start, but Pedersen, I still, like I said, he's defensively he's still good, and I think those offensive numbers will come back
on a different team. It won't be with Vancouver.
I think I do admit that with Vancouver, there's going to be a lot more pressure, and even if he does have a great start, if he has a 2-3 game streak where he doesn't produce anything, that pressure might come back. So I believe he'll have a better rest of his career with somebody else. I don't want to see that. I really do want to see him succeed in Vancouver, but it might be better to trade him at this point or somewhere in the near future.
Well, like always, you and I will immensely agree to disagree on this, as per usual. But let us know your thoughts. Make sure to like, subscribe. And if you think, where is offer sheets going? Are we going to see more offer sheets? Are we going to see less of them? Is it poor form for other general managers to try and employ these things? It's in the CBA; they're allowed to do it. If you hate our show, you hate us. Message and let us know that. We will take that too. We don't mind the hate. We just want you to just do something. Do something and let us look what we're doing. Look at all this. Why are we doing this?
Hey, and now we kind of know that someone's listening. So thank you for the feedback and continue the feedback.
Yeah, good or bad. We don't care. Hey, we don't care. Harp, Arrow, DumbFans.